Hey, what's going on? My name's Anthony, and today I want to talk to you about 5 things that full-time YouTubers experience. Now, I'm also speaking from experience and also the 5+ years I've been doing YouTube for full-time and all the friends I've met and people I've spoken to. And this is something that I think if you are a full-time YouTuber and watching this video, you can possibly relate to. These are some changes that also happened in my life and that I've seen firsthand. Now, I'm making this video because maybe you can look out for the signs. Let's say you are pursuing being a YouTuber full-time, and let's say you're a small creator or a creator going and ready to take that leap. Maybe you can also, again, adjust and look out for these things. I enjoy making these videos because I think about, if I was talking to myself as a creator coming up and, I had someone to talk to that could say these things with the experience, what would I say to them? So this is, I really hope you find this video helpful. And let's go ahead and get this started. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that you can experience as a full-time YouTuber is checking numbers all the time. I think especially when it's something that you do, like when you're first going full-time, I think checking numbers all the time is just something that comes natural. We do live in a time where numbers matter. I think numbers have always mattered, but more than ever now, people care about likes, people care about comments, people care about watch time, people care about, how many subscribers you have, how many views do you have, all these things add up. And there's a constant thing. I know when I was growing my channel that I had, I run a channel with over 2.5 million subscribers and other channels. I can remember when I was going to work at a full-time job while doing YouTube, I was always checking my phone, always looking at my subscriber count. Now, that's something that is natural. So if you are doing that, don't worry about it. There will be a point to where you won't really be so invested in checking your subscribers number all the time. For me personally now, I maybe check, I still say I would check every day, but I don't check as much as I used to. I used to check all the time. There also are days where I just don't check it anymore. And it's really good for your mental, I would say, your mental health. If you're not constantly looking at numbers, because, it's when you're checking your numbers and you see it going up all the time, it's kind of like, giving you that shot of, I would say, was it dopamine? And you're kind of like, it feels good, when you see your numbers going up. And then when it goes down, it's like, you start feeling stressed and you start feeling sad. So again, just don't pay attention too much to the numbers if you can, but that is definitely something I think YouTubers experience, whether they like it or not, is checking the numbers a lot because again, especially if you are going full-time and you're running a business, you have to kind of look at the numbers whether you like it or not. Now, this next one is going to be haters. Yes, number 2, haters. You will experience haters in life, ladies and gentlemen, and remember, it's not the end of the world. Haters are your fans in a way. They're just a little bit more harsher. I would almost say sometimes they're really hardcore fans in a way. But remember to always differentiate, constructive criticism and actually hate. If someone's being hate and meaningful to you, which again, that will happen. This is YouTube. We're also in a time again where people can just comment whatever they want with technically no consequence really. They can just, write, I hate you so much. You're like the worst. And no one really knows, they just wrote it to make your day feel bad. So don't pay attention too much to it. Just block them, remove them. There's nothing wrong with that. If you see a hate comment that is specifically being rude to you or something you do not like, you have the power to also block that person. You have the power and the control to, especially if it's your channel, to remove this person from your chat, and that negative energy. Period. So that is something you will experience is haters. You also experience constructive criticism. Just make sure, again, you understand that difference. It's a difference, again, between someone saying, hey, I hate your video, or there's a different, whether than someone saying, hey, I hate your video because, and then they kind of give you a valid reason on why they don't like the video. And then maybe you can kind of take in what you need from that, what's useful, and then kind of disregard what is not useful. So you will experience that in life. There's no one that goes through life that is completely loved all the time. Haters is something that you will definitely experience. This third one's quite interesting because at one point, I guess I would say I knew this would happen, but your social life will also change. If you are doing YouTube full time, your social life will definitely change because there will be times where you have to really focus on your growth. You have to focus on your YouTube, which means you may be in your office working long hours, or you may be editing this video for a long time. You may not be able to hang out with friends. Let's say friends are going to meet up on Friday, but you really have to do a group recording on Friday and you can't hang out with friends, or friends want to do things that maybe you don't want to do because you rather work and grow your channel. So I think social life definitely changes. It's all about finding a balance. I think I went through a phase myself personally where I was just strictly, work. And I must admit, I am a hard worker. I've always, kind of been like the hardest worker in the room. I enjoy it. It's something that I've always had an insane work ethic. So, and especially if it's something that you love doing, it doesn't feel like work. So that's another thing too. YouTubers that really enjoy their job and they love what they do, it doesn't feel like work, and therefore you may be spending a lot of time doing it because, again, it doesn't feel like work. So your social life will definitely change. Also, if you're in a relationship, that may also change. Let's say someone wants, your partner or so wants to watch a movie and you can't because you feel like you have to do this, you have to live stream. So it's all about adjusting that and definitely, climbing up. And it's not all roses, of course, whenever you are grinding and working on trying to become a full-time YouTuber. And even if you're a full-time YouTuber, it's always a constant work, but your social life will definitely change a little bit, whether that's for the worse or for the better. Another thing that could potentially change is your food habits. Now, I don't think I've ever really seen anyone talk about this, but food habits will definitely change. There's a difference I think about when I was working full time, I would always, make my lunch. I was on a strict time, like a 9 to 5 or more. This was more like a 5 to 5 that I was working. But, you have lunch, when your lunch is, like when your lunch break is, let's say if it's at my lunch break, I think was at like 12 at midnight to 12:30 or something like that. Yeah, because I worked night shift. So I would already have my lunch prepared at work, and then we have that 30 minutes to eat. So there was always a structured time when I would eat lunch. But now being that, I do YouTube full time, I work at home, I can pretty much eat whenever I want, how much I want, or, and that is something that will change because sometimes you will find yourself, I would say that not everyone can work at home. It always sounds like a dream, but when you are at home all the time, you find yourself always wanting to eat. One, because you can. Another one is maybe you're bored. There's just idle time, so you're not really, keeping busy. So either, let's say you're working really hard at the computer, either you are eating, you can go the route of eating too much, just snacking all the time. I'm guilty of it. Or you can go the route of not eating because you're working so much. And ordering food is also going to be a thing because as you're on the computer, it's just a click away. Let's say I'm spending a long day working in the office and it's like, okay, I'm hungry. I don't really have the time to cook. I don't want to cook. And let's say you can't cook. Then it's just like, hey, let me just do 2 clicks and order what I want. And all I gotta do is answer the door. So that is something that will change whether you like it or not. As a full-time YouTuber, your food lifestyle will change, whether that is, again, for the better or for the worse. Whether you're trying to save money and eat, cheap, or whether you're trying to spend more money because you can and eat, better food. But yeah, I think you'll definitely be doing possibly a little bit more eating out if you are a full-time YouTuber. And this last one I want to talk about is having anxiety and stress. Yes, it is not all roses doing YouTube full time. We talked a little bit briefly about this, checking your numbers when it goes down may make you feel away. And I think just having that constant pressure of also, working in a way. And, work can cause a lot of stress too, in a way. And I think whether, you may like it or not, say, hey, YouTube is just for fun. It is work at the end of the day. You were doing it. I would say personally, out of any job I worked, and I worked some long hours, YouTube is by far one of the hardest jobs I've ever had to do. And I really enjoy it. I love it. I wake up every day and I'm energized and I'm just excited to get new ideas out of my head and planning stuff. We did do a video talking about being productive too, so I'll try to link that down below in the description somewhere. But anxiety and stress, checking your phone all the time. So I would say just be mindful of that. There may be days where, you check, Instagram, Twitter, and seeing everything you see. There's so much stuff that's being, especially it could be negative things that, just popping up on your feed here and there. Even with Twitter, like there's things, half of my Twitter feed shows up of things and people and posts of people I don't even follow. So, the whole system has also done a good job at kind of like pretty much kind of just posting things out there for you to also see it, kind of learning what you want to see and not see. So I would say just take a deep breath. breathe, because again, you will have times where you feel, anxious, and you feel, that, stressed, so I would say definitely take care of your mental health. If you can, go for a walk, take a break, talk to friends, exercise, things like that will also help. But the anxiety and stress of things is very real. I've also been working on this thing of trying, when I wake up, I try not to check my phone straight away. If you're constantly checking your phone before you go to sleep, checking your phone when you wake up. There's even times where I'm less on these social media platforms, even like, Instagram, Twitter, and everything, because it can be such an information overload. And then you have this where you start questioning your life. Like, oh, everyone else's life seems perfect, but mine isn't. So another thing too, don't compare yourself to other people if you can. And that's definitely something that is where I can do a whole video talking about that, like my experience with that, because I had really big anxiety problems when I started doing YouTube full time. So I'm more than happy to do a video talking about that and some of the tips I actually use to actually help me get over that. But I think that's going to wrap it up for the video. If you have any questions, again, feel free to comment down below. I'm more than happy to answer them or cover a video on any tips and advice. If you're working on your channel, I'm also more than happy to also help you out with that. But if you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like on this video and feel free to subscribe. And let me know if you can relate to any of these down below in the comments as of today, whether you're a full-time YouTuber, small YouTuber, or on the grind, and you see that these things are possibly possible. So yeah, much love. I wish you all the best and a successful day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.